Hi, Justin Thompson here at Smail Honda in Greensburg, PA, here to take you on a ride along on the brand new redesigned 2019 Honda Insight EX trim level. So I want to do a walk around on the brand new 2019 Honda Insight, and you'll see the front of the grille is very similar to the new Honda Accord that we have. So they're kind of taking bits and pieces of some of the other vehicles in the lineup, the size of a Civic. And just for fun, we have a 2010 Honda Insight here, just to kind of give you a comparison, and this is how much the vehicle has changed over 9 years. You see the hybrid badging on the side of the vehicle. Notice the lane watch camera you're going to have on the right outside mirror. That's very familiar with some of the other models. Now, being this is the EX model, you're going to have the aluminum alloy rims there. And a big difference from the old 2010 Insight. You can see the difference in style, kind of more of a hatch version on the 10, and then the sedan version here on the 2019. Backup camera, of course, on all models. What's great about this vehicle, 52 miles per gallon combined in city and highway driving. And I'm going to show you how you're going to be able to get that great gas mileage based on how you're going to be regenerating power back to the battery, which again I'm going to go over in full detail with you. Right here you have a blue accent on the chrome, right underneath the chrome trim. So when you're looking at the front of the vehicle, you can know it's a hybrid just from that blue look there on the chrome. Right here on the right hand side, you're going to see the Honda sensing square here at the bottom of the grille. And what that is, that's sending a radar out that's calculating distance and speed for your adaptive cruise control and your forward collision brake mitigation system. Up top in the windshield, you're going to see that triangle. That's actually the camera that points out in front of the vehicle for your lane watch. That's your lane keep assist system. And it's actually going to map out vehicles in front of you for your adaptive cruise control. Again, which I'm going to go over with you in full detail. I'm going to go over a couple things before we get this on the road. Just kind of go over the basic options with the vehicle. Power windows, power locks, power outside mirrors, very standard in all the models that we have. You're going to have automatic lights with the EX model of the Insight. And on the back side of the steering wheel, you're going to see these deceleration paddles. And what they do is they apply braking power and energy to the battery. So what they're going to do, instead of using the brake on the floor, which would also generate power to the battery, you can actually hit the minus or the plus button, applying less or more braking power, let's say when you're coasting or going down a hill. You're going to have audio controls on your steering wheel here for your stereo, Bluetooth connection. This house button here is going to bring up a few different options up here on the left side of the display, where you can put on your tachometer. You can see the power flow, when the power is getting to the battery, when the engine's actually taking charge here. So again, you can watch it working real time. And then there's a few other options that show up here on the left-hand side. You also have controls over here on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. And two main things are your adaptive cruise control and your lane keep assist system. So earlier when I was showing you the camera in the front of the windshield, that's actually pointing out in front of the vehicle, ready to map out the lines on the road. When we get above 45 miles an hour, those lines will turn solid white. That's how we know if we start to drift, it will actually vibrate the wheel and slightly pull you back into the lane. And adaptive cruise control, what that's going to do is brake the vehicle and accelerate it automatically without you doing anything. And it keeps a safe distance away from the vehicle that's in front of you. Again, I'll demonstrate that for you. And then also on the left-hand side of the dash, there's a little car icon with a circle around it. And what that brings up is some of the other Honda sensing packages that you have. Road departure mitigation, which is going to keep us centered in the lane when we're driving on the road. That kind of works hand in hand with lane keep assist system. And then also your collision mitigation braking system. Under 15 miles an hour, what this will do is apply braking power if the vehicle senses that there's going to be an impact. And if you remember in the beginning of the video, I showed you that square. That's a Honda sensing actual radar sensor in the dash. That's calculating distance and speed, and it's going to detect if we're going to have an impact. If we don't apply the brakes, the vehicle will apply the brakes automatically. So let's take us out on the road, just showing you the emergency brake. You lift up gently on the emergency brake, so there's no handbrake or foot brake anymore. You depress the brake on the floor and press gently down on the same mechanism to release your brake. Brake hold is going to keep us from drifting forward or backward when we're in traffic. So if you're tired of having the vehicle and drive with your foot on the brake, instead of putting it in park so you can relieve your foot, you can have the vehicle in brake hold mode in drive and take your foot off the brake. When you tap the accelerator, it will release brake hold for that moment until you bring the vehicle to a complete stop again, and then brake hold will actually hold the vehicle from drifting again. It's not something that you have to hit every time. You can keep it on all day long. The other modes that I'm going to go over, you have Econ Mode, which is going to lower your RPM level and give you better fuel efficiency. The Sport Mode is actually going to raise your RPM level a little bit and give you more of a sporty feel when you're on the back road. And EV Mode is just straight battery, so just diverting all the power from the battery. And on the exterior of the vehicle, at slow speeds, you're going to hear an audible tone. This is to help pedestrians notice that you're actually near them if they're at a crosswalk or something. Because the vehicle is very, very, very quiet when it's using the battery. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the acceleration here. And that's that electronic CVT transmission. CVT meaning continuous variable transmission. So like most of the other Hondas, the CVT transmission, it's one gear constantly adjusting the gear ratio depending on how you're driving the vehicle or where you're driving the vehicle. So basically a CVT transmission is driving itself the most fuel efficient way possible at every moment. So the first step with adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist system, you're going to hit this main button on the steering wheel, and it's going to bring up two acronyms, ACC, adaptive cruise control, and LKAS, lane keep assist system. I'm just going to demonstrate the adaptive cruise. I actually just set it, and their car icon right in between the two acronyms is going to indicate that the vehicle is sensing a vehicle in front of us, and it's actually braking right now automatically. I'm not touching a thing. And the Honda Insight also has what's called the slow follow mode, which is actually going to take us under 25 miles an hour. Other manufacturers' adaptive cruise controls shut off at 25, and the operator needs to be conscious of that and brake the vehicle, of course. Ours, you do not. It will take you all the way down to 0 miles an hour. In fact, when you've stopped for a few seconds, it'll actually come up stopped underneath the car icon where the set speed was. And what you can do then is just tap the plus button and it will bring you back up to speed, or you tap the accelerator and it will do the same thing. For lane keep, all I do is tap the, it looks like the steering wheel with dotted lines. I can actually change the sensitivity level of any of the Honda sensing packages that I've been talking about. So if I start to drift toward the middle of the lane or the left side of the lane, it's actually going to say lane departure there and bring a warning up on the dash. It'll actually vibrate the wheel and slowly pull you back in the lane like it just did for me. I wanted to show you the lane watch camera. Anytime I have my right turn signal on, it's going to bring up the lane watch camera. That camera is underneath the right outside mirror, pointing straight back to my blind spot. Let me know if there's anybody behind me, maybe coming up on the shoulder. This is great when you're making right turns, just to make sure there's no pedestrians on bicycles, anybody walking across the crosswalk, or anybody riding up on the shoulder. The red line's about 15 feet away. Then the first orange line is approximately 40 feet, and the last little orange line is approximately 80 feet away. Whenever I don't have my turn signal on and I still want to see that camera, I can bring it up anytime by hitting the button on the outside of this, the turn signal column, I should say. Right on the outside, I just press that button, it brings up the screen, and I can hit it anytime and turn it off. While we're waiting here, just to show you the touchscreen here, you do have a lot of different options that you can choose from. Similar to the Honda Accord, the new Accord, the 18, it's going to have a similar interface. With your phone hookup, all your settings, again, you can go through and change how everything operates. You can have it customized the way that you like the vehicle to operate. You do have the smartphone connection, so you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which will project any supported applications on your phone on the touchscreen. This particular model does not have a navigation. However, you can use your Google Maps on your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto as your navigation system. It'll show up here on the touchscreen. A couple other things, you have your text messaging capability through here, trip computer you can look at, power flow. This is kind of neat. This was on the front of the vehicle here in my display beyond my steering wheel. However, I can see it here on the touchscreen as well, and it will tell me where the power is coming from, if it's being diverted from the battery or if the engine's actually taking over. It gives us our range, how many miles we have till empty, and our current driving fuel efficiency as well. And then of course you have the Honda Link app on here as well. That's something that can be downloaded with your smartphone, and basically what that does is it keeps you in connection with Honda Corporation. You can run diagnostics on your car. You can schedule service appointments. This is really helpful if you're out of state, out of the area. It'll also allow you to contact customer service, roadside assistance, any recalls or any bulletins on your vehicle will actually show up through Honda Link as well. Again, a great way to keep your vehicle in touch with Honda Corporation. So with the Inside EX, you're going to have the cloth interior, really soft cloth material. I feel very comfortable in my seat. The steering on the vehicle is very responsive. We didn't take too many tight turns, not on the back roads, kind of been on the highway. So when we get on the back roads here, I'll be able to give you my feedback on how the vehicle operates through the turns as well. As of right now, just a very fun vehicle to drive, very easy to drive. My road departure I can feel kind of working with me. So right here on the dash, you're going to see a speed limit sign come up. Anytime you pass the speed limit sign, it's going to put it here on the dash and let you know what the speed limit is based off of that camera. It's actually mapping out the speed limit signs on the side of the road. Like all the other Hondas, you're going to see a green glowing light. It'll go away when you hit the accelerator. That's your instant fuel economy. That's the vehicle basically telling you that you're driving it the best way possible. Anytime you use the accelerator, that green light will go away. Again, just indicating that you're not being as fuel efficient. However, you need the accelerator to drive the vehicle. So it's basically a visual thing. So right now I'm coming up to the light and I can actually use my deceleration paddles, and it comes up right on the drive, right to the right of drive. You're going to see these little arrows, and I actually am decreasing it. So it's the opposite. When you use the plus button, it decreases it. When you hit the minus button, it increases it. So again, anytime I brake or use the deceleration paddles, it's diverting power to the battery. On the right hand side of the dash is your gas fuel gauge, okay, which is actually full right now. And then the battery is on the left hand side. And I know that you may not have noticed this from the beginning. The battery only had about 2 or 3 bars. We are now at 7 bars. So the battery is being charged while we're driving the vehicle. Again, when I'm braking, coasting, or using my deceleration paddles. So to our customers that are leery about the hybrids and the plug-in hybrids that you have, this Insight is a really good transition from your regular gas vehicle into a hybrid plug-in, kind of like the Clarity that we have. And the reason why, you don't have to plug anything in, and you're going to get very good fuel efficiency, 52 miles per gallon combined through city and highway driving. But it's nice because there's not a whole lot that you have to do or a whole lot that you have to remember. Sometimes the plug-ins with other manufacturers get very confusing. This is very simple to operate and very simple to drive. So it's a really, really good startup vehicle, I would think, in my mind, for somebody that's kind of thinking about going to the hybrid level. So just driving on these back roads, the steering is very responsive going through the turns. If I wish, I can hit the sport mode and have even a more peppy ride while I'm on the back roads. It's kind of for the car enthusiasts, so if you like to zip around the country roads, you can do that as well. Some people may want to use the sport mode maybe to get up to speed quicker whenever you're getting out onto the highway. So again, everybody can operate the vehicle how they want to. So that's the beauty of Honda and the Insight in particular. You can drive it and customize it the way that you want it to operate. I'm going to demonstrate the backup camera. All you do is press reverse. So on the transmission, the different buttons, you have park, reverse is going to be back toward you, neutral, and then drive. So reverse, we just press that simply and it's going to bring up your camera display. You have 3 camera angle views. You have a wide angle view so you can see traffic coming from either side behind you. The dynamic guidelines do change color to give you a projected angle into a parking spot. Even though there's no lines here, I can kind of get an idea of where the spot would be. More of a straight on view whenever I'm going to make my park. And then you have a straight down view that you can back right up against the curb without hitting it. Right on that dotted line, you still have about 2.5 feet away from the object behind you. Now the warranty for the Insight, you're going to have your basic 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. And that takes care of all the internal features, the touchscreen, and all the nice features that you have inside. A 5-year 60 for your powertrain. which is your engine, drivetrain, transmission, all the major driving components of the vehicle. And you have an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the battery for the inside as well. So why buy from Smail Honda? Well, family run facility for over 70 years. Always like that. You have that family environment whenever you come into the dealership. No pressure at all. Very informative sales staff and friendly sales staff, and our service department is one of the best in the state. And a couple other things to mention. You do have the Smart Pass keyless entry system. So as long as you have the key fob on you or buried in the bottom of your purse, you don't have to take it out and hit unlock or lock. You can simply just put your hand through the handle and it'll unlock the door. Once you get done with your commute or going to work, wherever you're going, whenever you exit the vehicle and shut the door, you just tap the top of the handle with the little rigid lines, and that will lock the vehicle up as well. Now you do have a standard remote start with the EX model as well for the Insight. So that's the ride along on the new 2019 Honda Insight. I hope you liked the vehicle as much as I did and enjoyed the features that I went over. If you have any questions about the vehicle or would like to take it for a test drive, please visit us here at Smail Honda in Greensburg, PA. Ask for me, Justin Thompson, or visit us online at smailhonda.com. Thanks for watching.